All right. We are back, and we're going to get right into it. It is late in the evening. You have just been abducted by a haunted house that tried to smash you into pieces with animated furniture. And to the north, through the thick fog, only visible because of the darkness that has now descended upon this stretch of the swamp, a distant, diffuse glowing in the fog, not unlike the one that you saw emanating from this structure that tried to eat you, but much wider of a source.
Good, a bigger ghost house.
Oh, I really hope that's not what that is. Should we not be following houses here?
It's likely that village we saw, but
would your mother have gone to a village?
Perhaps if she needed supplies. Though she must have known that it was as dangerous as everyone has been telling us. So. Oh, what if my mother's been eaten by a house out here?
Should we check this one for remains?
We sort of investigated it, didn't we?
Yes, I think we did. Mm-hmm. All right, well, I'm up to fighting some more furniture if we have to, so.
I mean, I'm just gonna burn it all from the outside this time before we have a chance to get inside.
Well, see, the problem with that was I didn't know it was anything until I was inside of it suddenly. And
yeah, so I mean, we just, whenever we see a house, I'll be like, are you haunted? And if it says yes, then I will.
What if it says no?
Well, if it says no, I'll still throw a fireball at it.
If it answers at all.
As foolproof a plan as that may be, I think we're best left investigating each one and working them on a case-by-case basis.
Well, did Cam tell us that she did the house thing with the spirit? Did Cam tell us about the spirit?
I don't think so. We kind of ended on you guys like looting the basement or the rest of the rooms or something like that.
So I was casting Identify, and the spell was doing its thing, and then all of a sudden it just cut off. Like it was no longer like a whatever it was tied to, like whatever magic it was tied to was gone.
Oh, well, part of what they teach you when you do work with the temples is how to deal with things like undead, including things like spirits. And I just had this weird feeling that maybe the house was angry. And so I tried sort of connecting with it and using some of my magic and some prayer to just kind of help it move on. So I think the house was kind of like a manifestation of a ghost or something like that.
that's the case, then that's probably an easier way to attack the problem.
I don't know that
Yes.
I could have done that while it was attacking me, though. It was just once it was kind of when it lost its will, I guess, to continue to fight.
Some ideas.
Nope.
What's that?
Your
I said we can throw around some ideas, figure something out.
Hmm.
I don't know about you, but I almost got my ass handed to me by a broom.
Yes, I saw that. That's why I came to intervene. It didn't even so much as graze me, so I'm okay.
I got pretty banged up in that fight. I was kind of surrounded by everything in that one room.
Well, we'll have to be careful then.
They counter spells. Ridiculous. Ridiculous, I tell you.
So, I heard the swamp was going to be dangerous, different. But the last thing I was expecting was ghost houses that will mess up your ability to do magic.
It's hard to hit anything in that house. And it hit hard.
It was weird. It was like I was hitting it, but it didn't really care that I was hitting it.
Yes, you gotta really kind of hone in and find the weak points. And when it's a well-made table, it's hard to find them.
The quality of the furniture was too good.
That old world craftsmanship.
It wasn't IKEA.
I'm sorry.
So
I don't know
we're
who
walking
IKEA
and
is.
talking, right?
Yeah.
I that is a good question. Is it your intent to traverse the swamps at night towards the source of light or not?
It is mine.
It
Yes.
really hasn't mattered whether or not we've been going by day or by
That's
daylight or night.
All right. Who's leading up?
I'll lead.
All right. It's not that difficult to follow a source of light in the darkness, even with the terrain as rough as it is. But if I could have you make a perception check for me with disadvantage because of the fog.
17.
All right. All right. So the three of you set out traversing this swamp that has gotten quite chilly now that the sun has fully set. Not that it was particularly warm to begin with, being the fall. But you keep following this source of light through the darkness, through the swamp, the sort of dank smell of decay filling your nose, and just the fog clinging to your skin. It's not too dissimilar for our aquatic friends from being underwater. Like guild creatures probably could breathe out here just fine, at least for a while. But after maybe an hour of walking towards this light, and it is seeming to get a little bit bigger, a little bit closer, a little bit brighter as you're continuing on, you notice that it starts ever so slightly to get a little bit warmer. and the fog starts to thin out a little bit. And just as you're sort of realizing this, you hear a sudden rustle from some of the bushes and see a blur of a figure shoot through the fog over your heads, landing behind you, brandishing some sort of sword in your direction. You see a figure very strangely attired, about 4 some odd feet tall, green skin, wearing what looks like to be a finely tailored suit or a caricature of one made out of various swamp plants, like large leaves for sort of the double-breasted part of the suit here, and where you might expect there to be a tie, there's a large shiny beetle there, and on his head, instead of like a English barrister's wig, but made out of cattails. There's this creature. Who disturbs the village of Blackwater? Identify yourselves.
I'm Wade.
I'm Cam.
Lyris, nice to meet you.
You stand before Zorblin, the ever-leaping guardian of Blackwater.
Wait, can you say that again?
He sort of, his like throat bellows out into this sort of like, makes this frog type noise that does not translate readily into common, but if you wanted to write it down, you could spell it Zorblin.
Mostly wanted to make you do that again.
All right, Zorblin. We're just passing through. We did unfortunately have to fight a house over here.
You survived the creature.
Yes, in fact, we destroyed it, and our priest here helped it to pass on peacefully.
Sort of lowers his rapier a little bit. It looks like he's not really brandishing a sword at you. It looks like he's brandishing some sort of insect with a very long stinger. Now that you get a little bit of a closer look, just, well, Dame Mrekeekee will need to know of this. It was a good guardian for troubles coming from the south, but it is good that the creature has been able to pass on into the afterlife. You start sniffing the air a little bit, and then looks at Cam. Where are the three of you from?
That way.
Yes, but the place name, if you will.
Like where we're originally from, or like
Yes.
where we're living?
Where were you born?
Oh,
I was born in the Bay of Zemali.
I was born in that mountain over there, she says, and you can't really see through the fog, but she has like this innate sense of the direction that it is in.
You, sir.
I was born in the water.
Very well. He sort of sheathes his insect. You, shiny one, have a smell of the creature about you, but I don't believe the three of you are under its influence, which is good.
I'm sorry, what?
There is an entity that calls itself Merig that lives in these bogs.
And I smell like her.
A bit.
Is that a bad thing? Should I be concerned about that?
That's up to you.
Can you describe this entity for us?
I have not seen it, but it claims dominion over as much of these swamps as we are not able to fight it back from. And it claims dominion over the minds and interests of most of those who travel through here, especially those who call it home that are not able to resist. We are here to guard from its influence. And if you are not one of its agents, then you are welcome.
What is this Merig?
None who have seen it have returned to tell the tale,
I hate
or
it when it's one
forgot
of
to
those-
tell the tale upon returning.
Do you know where we might find this thing?
Of course, it will be in no other location than deep in the thickest and most inaccessible part of the swamp. It claims its lair.
What do you do to guard against it?
It cannot influence us. It acts under the guise of a fey creature, but we are the real ones. It is an imposter, claiming the identity of the Fae to trick those into dealing with it.
Do you mind if I ask? I don't know if this is rude, but what are you exactly?
I am Zorblin the Everleaping. I do not understand your question.
Are you like a frog person?
We, in a sense, I suppose, if you wanted
If
to
it
put it
makes
that
you
way.
feel better, my friends here kind of like fish people.
Yes, I did sense a hint of kinship among the two of you. There's
You
a
two
dry
look a
skin
little
here.
bit related.
I don't think we're related.
He looks you up and down and says, yes, no relative of mine would dress like that. No offense.
Not at all. I feel similarly.
But what is your business in the swamp, then?
Oh,
Oh.
we're looking for my mother. We were told that she went out this way, and she went out alone. And when I checked at her house, it seemed like she wasn't going to come back. So we decided to head out this way. Have you seen anybody else wandering around here?
Anybody else wandering around here? Yes. But no one that looks like you.
Perhaps a slightly less shiny version of her?
Different hair color, shorter.
No. Nobody who had hair.
Oh,
Only bald people moving through the swamp?
maybe she cut off her hair. You know, like sometimes when you go through a really rough patch in life, I know that some people do stuff to their hair.
I wasn't aware of that.
Can you describe the individual or individuals who have come through here recently?
Well, yes, I can. I have recently seen Spoogus the Damp, our seer, has been wandering through these woods while I was on patrol. I think he's back home now.
I'm sorry, he's called something the Damp?
Spoogus.
Well, why is he called Damp?
He has the most hydrated skin in all of Blackwater.
Is he like one of us and he's like gesturing to himself and Wade, or is he more like you?
No, he's much more like me.
Oh, okay.
You did ask him if he'd seen anybody.
That's true. Have you seen anyone taller?
No.
I guess people really don't come out this way.
In fact, you are the first people to come from the other side of the mountain that I've ever seen.
Huh?
Personally.
Do people usually come from the other side of the swamp then?
Sometimes they do wander in. Rare.
What time? It is night now, right?
Mm-hmm. It is night.
Are we able to spend the night with your people?
Yes, all are welcome in Blackwater. You got it, Carrie. You got it, Carrie. They got a whole village.
Well, we'd love to have a safe place to take a bit of a rest, and we have to move on and see if we can't find Cam's mother, and who knows, maybe we'll come across this Merig and remove it for you.
Truly, that would be a service to the people of our realm as well as yours. We have been here for generations countering her influence.
Have you ever considered killing it?
She is far too powerful for even our most fearsome warriors.
I understand that sentiment.
Do you have anything akin to a map of the swamp area?
I don't... A map. What is that?
It's a picture which shows you locations, how to get from one place to another.
Such a thing does not have use here. Everything changes.
Oh. How do you find your way home, then?
Innate sense of direction. He sort of puffs up his chest, looking very proud at that.
I see. And all of you have this?
Oh, yes, quite, although some more so than others. The way that time works, can throw you off sometimes. Something that takes you 3 days to walk that way might only take you half an hour to walk back the other way.
Are you sure you're not just getting lost and
Quite sure.
It takes a different amount of time?
Quite sure. Certain, in fact.
They've been lost their whole lives.
I'm certain it's this way.
But when you mean to do it, it doesn't count.
Very good. Do you require guidance to Blackwater, or can you find your own way?
Oh, it might be good to have somebody with us, at the very least, to tell them that we're of no trouble.
Very good. I shall escort you. He pulls his sword back out. This way.
Do all of you use weapons like that?
No. In fact, we do not.
I kind of want to show up here now and just everyone's dressed normal. It's just like one guy. But the town crazy person.
You go out there and protect our village.
They're all using regular swords.
Weird, eh?
Oh my god. Alright, I'm gonna follow along with Sorglin.
All right, yeah. He takes guiding you through the next portion of the swamp quite seriously. It's only about 20 minutes till you can start to see the outline of structures through the fog as, sort of the lights of this village become more clear and the temperature becomes warmer, the fog very, very much thinner. And by the time you hit the outskirts of the village, it's almost like the temperature of a summer afternoon in here with no fog to be seen. It's quite warm and humid in this little pocket of the swamp. It looks as though there's not a whole lot of activity going on at this time of day. But there are a few other frog people that you can see sort of hopping around from place to place. There is, as you walk through this small village with winding paths through the bog, or all this organic architecture. Somebody there's a house that kind of looks like a very strange mirror universe reflection of a nice little cottage with a white picket fence, but instead of having a dog tied up outside, there is a very large caterpillar with a little house to live in. It's about the size of a small donkey. As you're kind of winding through here, it says, "Well, welcome to the village of Blackwater. It is much more exciting during the day when everyone is awake, but if you need to find a place to stay, I trust that you may be able to do so."
And where might that be?
Oh, I like that pool over there, personally.
One of us wouldn't survive sleeping in a pool.
Oh,
I could just set up my dome somewhere on the ground. That wouldn't be in the way.
That might be our best bet.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Please.
And no one's going to be concerned when they wake up and there's a bunch of strangers here?
I shall stand guard until the morning.
Oh. Well, that's very kind of you.
Feels like overkill, but...
We wake up and he's like, hasn't moved.
I mean, if you're willing to do that, then I suppose that...
Of course, none shall disturb your slumber as long as Oberon, the ever-leaping, is guarding you.
Do they call you that because you leap a lot, or because you can leap very far?
Yes.
Oh, both.
Well, how far can you leap exactly?
About like this. And he just bends, he like sort of crouches down and straight up into a tree, and you cannot see him anymore.
Well, that's better than I can do.
Oh,
About this high.
What was that, Karen?
How high can you go?
I forget the jumping rules, but I do have the jump spells, so higher than you'd think.
So by your estimate, Zorblin got at least 30 feet in the air without a running start.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that.
After a moment, he's like climbing down the side of the tree face first.
Why don't you just jump down?
Landing is not as easy.
So you can jump high enough that landing would hurt you.
Yes, it is truly a testament to my skill.
But if your legs are so strong, shouldn't they, in theory, be strong enough to absorb the impact?
I shall redouble my training.
You should never skip leg day.
Cam's gonna get to setting up her dome while they are witnessing his jumping capabilities and talking about training up legs. She'll ritually cast it, and once she's done, she's just like, do you have any tips that would be helpful in terms of getting through the swamp easier? You seem like you're pretty capable. We have had some tips, but not tips from people who are so familiar with it.
Yes, you need a good memory for direction, and well, that's really the biggest one.
Well, we have that.
Then you should be fine.
What do you know about this Laurel Hell?
Yes. One of the lost from the human settlement referred to it as that. That's the I believe that's what the dry skins call the thickest part of the swamp.
Oh, where the Merig is.
Yes, it's a ever-twisting land of branches and sharp things and insects. It's quite the smorgasbord, but very dangerous.
And poisonous flowers?
Yes, toxic pollen to some.
Is there a way to get through that without being affected by it?
Being stout of constitution is enough for most people, but there are every danger that the swamp provides, it also provides a solution to. Surely there can be something mixed up to help you resist its effects with the right plants applied.
Does anyone in Blackwater produce such a thing?
Yes, you may speak to Raymond.
And this fellow you mentioned, is he well liked?
Oh, yes. Raymond is quite beloved amongst the people here. He provides and concocts any sort of, if there's ailments or any sort of bolstering we need to ourselves, he can provide with
I
the
can
right
see why everyone might love
concoction of
him then.
plants. I missed that over my own bloated.
I'm not surprised that everyone loves Raymond.
Yes, quite a useful individual indeed.
Okay, well, we'll have to check in with him before we leave town then.
I can deliver you to him upon the morrow.
I'm just so curious because I've never met anyone like you or even heard of any village out here. How long has Blackwater been around?
Great Lord Oberon tasked us with guarding this swamp 6 generations ago.
Not to be insensitive, but how long does a generation of the species last?
3 years.
If the tales of dry-skinned lifespan it's about similar to you. Several 100 cycles.
Similar to me, so you live hundreds of years.
Yes. So
Interesting.
we can, rather.
Is something
The swamp
preventing you?
doesn't take you first.
I see.
Where would it take you?
That is the question, is it not? If we knew, we could get them back.
No, gonna leave that one alone.
While Cam is ritually casting her dome, I would like to ritually cast Detect Magic.
Go for it.
And I guess I'll just continue to make small talk with our new friend here while they are both silently casting spells for 10 minutes.
I literally said I was talking to him and asking him for tips while doing this. So.
Can you do that? Is there not
Cam
like a
can.
verbal part to the spell?
Cam can.
The dome? I don't know. Was there?
But yeah,
Or
I don't have any more. Like,
she asked the question, then was listening.
So yeah, you cast detect magic, and there is it goes off, and you're just almost like flashbang with magic. As this whole area is faintly magical, like every square inch of land and air in here is magical to some degree. Not necessarily a huge amount.
Is there like traces of every school, or is there a particular school that's more prevalent?
It is mostly like a kaleidoscope, but it if there was anything that was dominant, it would be transmutation.
interesting.
Have you
What's
come
that?
across
Yeah.
um
Your mic's struggling with
Zorblin.
you today.
Zorblin.
Yes.
Have you come across any strange crystals
Strange crystals.
inside the swamp?
Strange crystals inside the swamp. No, I don't think that I have. Have you have you come across any strange crystals?
Not in the
Not
swamp.
inside the swamp.
Very good.
We
Then there's
haven't-
nothing to worry about. Unless we should be finding strange crystals.
If you find them, stay away from them.
Very good.
They may be dangerous. Well, Zorblin, I thank you for guiding us and protecting us.
Your sleep shall be ever undisturbed.
That's very much appreciated. This dome will protect us anyway, so you know. You
I
can
shall
relax.
protect the dome.
Okay then. That's very noble of you.
He strikes a guarding position with his sword right in front of him, his insect right in front of him, and ever on alert.
Boy, he's gonna wear himself out.
They put him on watch specifically at night because he's a bit much.
All right. Are you all doing your own watches, or are you letting Zorblin and the Dome do it for you?
I honestly, I don't think we're gonna have an issue, but I also don't trust anyone, so.
I will follow the others' leads. If they would wake up Cam, she will do a watch.
It's only just gotten dark recently, right?
It has been dark for a few good hours by now.
I think as soon as it got dark, Cam would have shared her dark vision
Okay.
with both of you.
What gets through the dome? Like disintegration? Like it's about
That'll
it.
take down the dome, but it won't get through.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay. I'm not too concerned. Let's get some rest.
All right.
Before I go to bed, I would like. Is there like, if I virtually cast Identify, can I like target the fog?
Yes, but you'd have to go back out into the fog to do that.
Is there like enough? I was wondering if like there was enough of the fog left on us from walking, if I could target that portion of it.
Like, yeah, because your clothes are kind of damp from it. You could give it a try.
Sure. curious to see if that'll.
Yeah. And you squeeze out some of this water from your clothes and do the identification ritual, and it's just water. Mundane fog, it appears. Anything anybody would like to take care of before bed?
No, I don't think so.
All right, Shanks.
I think Lyris is going to do a quick, funny sketch of Zorblin.
Don't forget to put it under his pillow.
I don't know where that
He
is.
has pillows.
Put it in his pond that he pointed to.
Oh, there's some character art, by the way, in the Discord.
Oh, okay.
I was waiting for it. I'm like,
I'm gonna draw a little sketch of him with like a bunch of those cattails impaled on his insect sword and like roasting them over a fire.
Ah, it's the forbidden corn dog. All right. And, it is, thanks to the dome, quite comfortable. Otherwise, it might be a little bit warm for most of you out there. But as you fall asleep, even in this place, which feels on its surface to be safe, you still can't shake that feeling that you are being observed. They have everybody make an intelligence saving throw for me, please.
You bastard. You
so I think I'm good at those. Is a 21 good enough?
I've rolled a nat 20, but I have a -2, so that's
Right.
18.
All right. When the morning comes, light graces the village, and whoever's up first does, in fact, see Zorblin standing exactly where he was when you fell asleep. Either largely or completely unmoving. Lyris, when you wake up, there's something that you go to reach for when you wake up, and it's not there. What object is Lyris now missing?
Oh no.
Why does this sound familiar? Let's see.
You
What
haven't
am
heard
I
of the
missing?
children's tale, Zorblin in the Swamp?
Shit, all my stuff's valuable. My rope.
Yeah, your bundle of rope is missing.
Don't ask why I was initially like the first thing I do in the morning is grab my rope. It's
Hey.
just I gotta pull my rope out. And
Yeah.
That would have been losing her weapon right there.
Yeah. Other than that, the morning comes and you realize that Lyris is looking around as though he is missing something.
Wasn't my rope tied to my pack last night?
It's always been.
Well, it's not now.
You think that Zorblin took it? She says, like, very quietly.
How he wouldn't be able to get through your dome, right?
Oh, that's a good point.
Was it there when we went to sleep?
Well, I thought it was, but I didn't. One of us would have had to take it out of here. And I assume you didn't do that. You didn't have like a weird dream and feel the need to take my rope out of the dome for some reason.
I have my own rope. I don't.
What?
I have my own rope. I don't need your rope.
I also have my own rope.
Did you both have rope yesterday?
Are you accusing me of stealing, Lyris?
I'm just trying to figure out what happened.
Did you ever even have rope?
Yes.
I'm
I'm
going
just saying,
to.
calling into question our rope ownership. Why not throw it back at you?
I'm just gonna empty out my bag and see if there's extra rope in there for some reason.
Yeah, if we want to spend a little bit of time searching for the rope, then you can make a perception check for me, please. Perception or investigation.
Sure, why not? That's not great again, but it's a 16.
27.
22.
Station.
But you all, at approximately the same time, notice there is a little bit of the end of a coil of rope sticking out from underneath a pile of semi-decomposed foliage about 20 feet back from the dome.
That's rope over there, isn't it?
How? What? How did that? Okay, I'm gonna go look and see if I can pull the rope out.
Oh, easy enough.
Is it my rope?
Certainly doesn't look like a rope that's been buried under detritus for as long as it would need to be for the ground on top of it not to be disturbed.
I'm just gonna look at Wade. Didn't they say that it's like always moving here or something?
But surely that doesn't apply to our belongings.
But it was on the ground next to you?
It was tied to my
So-
pack.
We fought a haunted house yesterday.
Basically.
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
That this is not the most unbelievable thing that's happened to us in here?
Yes.
That's the point you're making?
Not only that, but this whole area is suffused with magic.
Right. I think you're missing the point of what's bothering me. It was able to get at my rope while we were asleep inside Cam's protective dome. Regardless of how not the weirdest thing this is, it concerns me. We may not be safe no matter what we do here.
Zorblin, are you still awake?
You say that, and there is no response from Zorblin.
The guy fell asleep on his job.
Standing exactly like this.
I'm going to cast message and just go Zorblin in his head. Had a nice little nap, did you, Zorblin?
Whips around. The dome speaks.
What?
Zorblin, has stuff ever gone missing in the village?
Quite frequently.
Does it end up, just in random places?
It's most often not too far from where it was last seen, and sometimes it's never seen again.
Have you ever had the feeling of being watched?
Constantly.
You say constantly.
Yes.
Oh,
Something about this swamp. It knows.
Yes, I think it's the fog. Didn't catch a word of that.
I don't think it's the fog.
Is it just me, or is like his
No,
mic not?
something's up with your microphone. It's angry.
yeah. Like you have almost too good of a filter on it or something like that. It's cutting you out a lot.
I don't think it's the fog. Can you hear me? Is that...
Yes. You don't think it's the fog?
Well, I mean, I tried to cast Identify on the remnants of the fog on my clothes last night and get anything. Might be somehow connected to the fog, but I don't think it's directly the fog.
Well, no. Yes, I agree with you. I don't think that the fog is specifically the thing behind it.
The creature that lives in the swamp.
Yes. I assume it's somehow utilizing the fog or, I don't know, extending its sensory perception through it.
She's gonna look at Sorblin. Is there any sort of like tales about this creature? And like, would there be any reason to want to go close to it for anybody, or is it only bad stories?
It is primarily bad stories, although the dryskins from the other side of the swamp believe that it may be parlayed with to seek a boon in exchange for some sort of trade or sacrifice, usually of non-conventional or ephemeral value.
Oh.
It sounds like we may be dealing with a hag.
That's what it wants you to think.
I'm sorry, what?
Faye knows Faye, and this creature is no hag.
You, Faye?
No, he's
Yes.
Sorblin. Pay attention. So it's not a fey creature.
I don't know if that's worse or better. If it wants you to think that it is a hag, that's what it actually is. Might be worse.
Well,
Unless it
unlikely
wants-
as it is, it may want us to think it's a hag because a hag is more powerful than it.
That's true. Or maybe, yeah, it just wants to be left alone or something.
Well, hags tend to draw attention, but the difference is hags are also bound by the word, even though they can sort of play with the interpretations of it. This might be something that isn't as bound to its word. It takes what it wants from you and then offers nothing in return.
You don't think my mother has gone to see it, right? Maybe she's just passing through? I really don't know that much about her. She could have family on the other side of the swamp and I wouldn't know about it.
She doesn't, by chance, have any propensity towards magic herself, does she?
Not that I know of.
Did I just hear a robot?
There's some interference somewhere.
Maybe she wants to learn, though?
Perhaps. Though I think to learn hag magic, you have to give up a child.
She's like, oh boy, she would do that in a heartbeat. Well, let's not think about that part then.
It won't come to that. But I suppose we should get busy here. Zorblin, when we need a minute to get ready, but will you take us to see Raymond?
Absolutely. Post haste.
Really?
As soon as you're ready.
Also mentioned, what was it, Dame Mrekeekee?
Yes. Dame Mrekeekee.
Is she of a different species to you?
She is the matriarch of the village. She is. No.
Okay, just asking. Your names were quite low and rumbly, and hers is quite high and jittery, and I thought perhaps it sounded more like an avian language.
Maybe it's more like female and male have different naming.
That could be. This is my first interaction with such species.
Okay. She's gonna start like turning her attention to packing up, and I'd assume the dome is gone now with the search that unfolded. Check my spells real quick to make sure I.
And I guess aid has ended at this point.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I don't really have anything specific to do here. Just kind of take a bite of some rations, drink some water, and move on.
I guess we should, next time, we should probably have a watch.
That's probably a good idea, given that things are happening within the dome.
It wouldn't hurt.
All right. So
Are other toad people like up and about at this point?
yes, as you're starting to get your things together, you're still on the outskirts of this village, which looks, now that you can see it in the daylight, it is not very definitively not the village that you saw coming down the mountain. That structure had the village had structures with lots of like right angles and sharp corners like a typical human construction. Most of the architecture here is very organic and grown, naturally developed. But yeah, as you're getting your things together, there is a very large bullfrog about the size of a horse that comes hopping down one road with somebody on its back that looks like it's got some other bundles of some sort of cargo on it as it just down the road and keeps on going.
That was weird.
There are a lot of different things here, Cam said. Oh, you know who would love this, actually? I think Roxel would love it.
Actually, I was expecting you to say an F. I think he would fit in here.
Oh, what makes you say that?
He just vaguely gestures at Zorblin. Remind you of
imagine
anyone?
the two of them interacting? Oh my god.
I'm just imagining Annette casting Speak with Animals every single time, even though he doesn't.
Very well. Are you ready for
Yes.
what awaits you today?
Is there anything that we should know before we meet this Dame Mrekeekee? Do we need to bow or Joe.
Can I take you to the dame? I thought we were going to go see Raymond.
Oh, yeah, we are. I thought we were going to see the dame afterward.
If you would like to meet the dame, I can certainly give you an audience.
Looks at the
That
party.
probably would be a good idea, yeah.
When I practiced this voice, I didn't practice it for an hour.
Okay, we'll go see
We'll go
this
see
Raymond that everybody
See what
loves.
kind of voice he has.
It's pretty similar. Yeah.
Get David to do an ASMR video, but it's just this guy.
Oh, man. I don't even know how I do that. Anyway. You are guided into the center of this village. And you're starting to attract some attention as you walk through it. People poking their heads out of windows, other, people's pet caterpillars sort of poking up over the fences to see these strange creatures walking down the street. You see a group of children stops and sort of whispers amongst each other, and one of you hears this, but their feet are so small.
Is everyone here dressed like Zorblin, or
Some variety of it. That seems to be the predominant aesthetic and textile choice. There are a few people walking around that look like they're just inside of like a perfectly, I'm going to describe this in a strange way, but then I will send you the image. Like in a perfectly fitted, cartoonishly well-fitted suit of armor, to the point where it's like there's no possible way they could have put this on.
All right.
Taking up some sort of, it looks like, guarding positions amongst the village, not actually, like, very stationary, not patrols. But, you're taken through, and as people seem to give your guide a little bit of a respectful berth, there's nobody rushing up to you, although you can tell the people in the village are very interested in your presence, and you're brought to a large, it's like half built in, it's like built into half of what used to be a very large tree that has rotted out, leaving only the exterior of it, sort of cantilevered over with a roof and making a lean-to off of it. And there's another one of these frogmen tending to some reed cages that are home to some large larvae of some sort. It's feeding them some sort of leaf. This is Raymond. We have visitors. We seek protection against the dangers of the bog. What do you have for them? And he turns around and looks equally surprised to see you kind of, his head around this. That one smells of the creature. Yes, she does. But she is not under its influence somehow. Very strange. Perhaps very fortunate. Yes, perhaps very fortunate indeed. Mrekeekee will want to hear about that. Yes, just some. They sound almost identical as they have this conversation back and forth with each other. It's just, well, outsiders from beyond the mountain, I leave you with Raymond.
I thought you were taking us to the dame afterwards.
Yes, quite right. I shall leave you with Raymond for the moment. You conduct your business.
Yes, Raymond. Good to meet you. He's pretty much explained everything to you. We thought that if we have opportunity to, we might meet with this creature at the center of your swamp, and we might even dispose of it for you.
That would be quite the accomplishment. Worthy of a
Well,
boon.
we are rather famous monster hunters at this point.
Perhaps you are who we have been sent here to meet. So many hundreds of years ago.
You
Sorry,
were
what?
sent here
Yes,
by...
Lord Oberon, of course.
What do you mean by that?
What do you
Like,
mean?
was there some sort of story about people, like a prophecy or something like that?
Nothing so direct as a prophecy, of course. But we were told that we would know our purpose when we saw it. Well, the actualization of our purpose, the means to actualize it. And we have been sent here to guard against the influence of the creature that calls itself Merig. And you claim to be able to hunt the creature that calls itself Merig. Perhaps we are here to guide you to it.
Oh, that would be very convenient because we've been told that it's going to be a very difficult to get anywhere near it.
And difficult it will be.
Cam just kind of like looks over to Wade and Lyris and it's just like, I wasn't expecting this when we came here.
Nor was I, but testing ourselves against this creature might be a good step in the right direction towards our ultimate goals.
We are supposed to be working up to defeating very powerful creatures. If we can't handle this thing in the swamp, then what chance do we have in the future to deal with the other things coming our way?
That is the exact thinking that's carried me this far. No matter what challenge I'm faced with, I need to face it in order to get stronger.
Well, it would be kind of neat to be the ones to make this place a way that people could pass through again.
Yes, we could possibly open up trade with Yanura once more.
Well, I'm up to it if both of you are, then.
Fronting Merig.
Seems that way.
We should...
Sounds like...
Sorry.
I don't know much more about this swamp, and that's like the only other thing we know that exists here, so... It's our best lead at this point, right?
Yes. I think we should consider dialoguing with this creature first. We wouldn't want to just attack something that turns out to be benign.
Rain, right? Is that close?
This is close enough.
What do you have that helps people here in the swamp that we might need in this journey?
Oh, quite anything you see before you. And he gestures towards this collection of insect larvae in various cages.
We were looking maybe for a potion or tincture of some kind that would protect us from the things in the Laurel Hell, the poisonous flowers and the like.
Yes. Well, this right here, he picks up one of these wicker cages, and the larvae in here, I feed a special selection of leaves and fruits that give them, when consumed, the ability to counteract nearly any poison.
What?
Do we eat it?
Yes! How else would you do it?
Oh,
We eat the larva.
Yes! Like this. And just this long tongue shoots out into the case and pulls one out.
So, how big are these larvae? Like, are they quite? They're small.
Probably about like that.
okay, I'm picturing like
Yeah, I was picturing bigger for some reason.
Inch or two.
Lyris picks one up and it says, "So I eat this, and it will protect me from poison."
Yes! You'll be quite invulnerable to most poisons for the better part of a day.
I'm going to eat one.
Hey,
I'll pay you. Relax.
all right.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know what their
What
money
if they
system's
don't? Yeah,
like
what if
here.
they don't take our coin?
I'll figure it out.
The
I only take payment in blood.
sensation is,
Yours
for
does.
most creatures, rather unpleasant right now. I don't know if you've ever eaten something like this before, but when you bite down onto it, they kind of burst.
Yeah,
And
as much.
There's this sort of like custardy center that comes out, and it's not at all appealing in flavor. I will make it up to you to determine whether or not Lyris can stomach that textural experience without a Constitution saving throw, but it is quite unharmful from like a poison perspective.
I think Lyris has had to do a lot to survive the years.
Okay.
So he's probably fine.
And he may have experienced this before.
Probably, yeah.
And yeah, after a moment, it's a little bit bitter. It's not very good, but after a moment, you can feel some sort of magical protection taking effect.
He is not. It's not pulling our leg. This is legitimate. Weirdly,
Similarly, how many of these, or how long would you say it would take to reach Merig? Do you know?
Oh, no, I couldn't say. It'd be... How fast can you go through something that doesn't want you to walk through it?
pretty fast.
If we didn't walk.
In which case, it shall take you no time at all.
What if we were to fly, out of curiosity?
That would probably be easier than walking.
What would we be looking for from an aerial perspective as to where we should land?
Oh, I wouldn't know. I've never flown before.
But do you know what might be around this Merig?
Look for dense foliage and the most oppressive sense of observation. Stories say that you won't be able to not approach.
Oh.
Sort of. And if our goal is to approach, then
Yes, that will certainly be convenient for that end.
All right. Well, we'll take a few of these anyway, just in case. What do you value them at each?
Oh, what do you have to offer in trade?
I don't suppose the traditional gold coin is what you're looking for?
I don't know what that is.
these and it will hold one.
That is shiny.
Yes, very shiny, and we've got quite a few of them. We've got even these more valuable silver ones. They're almost like a mirror you can see yourself in.
Well, do you have many different varieties of these?
Yeah, we have. I've got even these coppery ones that are quite a nice shade of red.
Well, I don't know what I would do with more than one of each of these, but I can give you one You have 3 different kinds of coins, you say.
Yes, that's correct.
Then I will very happily give you 3 of these for each different
Okay.
kind of coin.
Well, that's something. Including the one I ate, that gets us 3 total.
Do you have any use for things like parts of other creatures? You seem to make stuff.
Oh, yes, sometimes, perhaps. What do you have? What do you have?
Cam is gonna reach into her pack and pull out like a few roper teeth. These are teeth of a really gross creature that we fought.
I've never seen teeth like that. Sure, that's worth another one.
Torches. Do you use torches?
No, that's the fire on the end, right?
Yes, that's right.
It's no, and he sort of licks another finely woven wicker enclosure, and just some insects just get disturbed and glow for a moment.
You have use for mirrors.
A mirror? Do I have use for a mirror? You better keep that very quiet that you have a mirror.
Are they very coveted here, or?
Yes, the dame has the only other mirror in the village.
Let's see. So we would probably value this mirror at another 6.
I think that's fair.
Well done, Wade.
I will take the mirror off of the robe of useful items. Is there 1, 2?
He just takes this mirror very, very covertly and surreptitiously stows it underneath one of the tables with some of this larva rearing supplies.
So that puts us at 10 total, right?
9, less the one you ate.
Yeah, 9 with the one that I ate. Yeah. Well, that
should do plenty. I mean, it's better than we were gonna go in there with nothing.
Yeah, we've got a few days worth of protection. Hopefully it won't take us that long.
Yeah.
All right. Well, having traded a gold, a silver, a copper, and a mirror for 10 potions of poison something. Yeah, and some teeth. There we go. I think that is a good time to take our break. When we come back, we're going to go meet the dame. Right, get some water, get some snacks, but stick around because we will be back in a few minutes, everybody. We're back. Welcome back, everybody.
We made it safely.
Been shopping in the swamp. Who knew there was a merchant out here? All right. Anything else to purchase from Raymond?
What else you got here, Raymond?
Yeah,
Well, there's all variety. If you need any sort of... not only can we help you resist poison, but we can increase your physical strength or resist any other sort of damaging effect. Although poison probably is the most common. If you're saying something foul, it's not coming through.
I'm thinking to myself, we had something that helped increase physical strength too, right?
Yeah, we have the potions of frost giant strength.
It's got anything better than that?
Well, this one, if it's not strength that you're interested in, but something else, there's these. And picks up another one of these wicker cages, very similar looking, insectoid larva inside of it. Upon eating one of these, you will lose all material substance for an hour. That's pretty neat.
Sorry? You lose material substance?
Yes!
Can you be
You
more
become like-
specific?
Ghost?
In a way, slightly, I think, technically, it's quite complicated. Organically, I believe you're becoming slightly decoupled from the fabric of reality. Excuse me.
I'm not sure if that's something that would bring us, or at least bring me, particular value at the moment. Suppose I could see a situation where it might come in handy, but if I were ethereal, then I wouldn't be able to do what I do best.
We might be able to do other things better.
Well, what would you take in trade for that?
Well, do you... This might be a long shot. Do you have a hat?
Unfortunately, I do not. What about a well-crafted dagger?
That might be useful. May I see it?
Well, he pulls it. He's got a few of them, so he pulls out one dagger that he's not currently got on his belt.
Is this metal?
It is steel.
Incredible. Incredible. Very rare. Truly such wonders. On the other side of the mountain.
You find steel rare out here.
Yes!
We have it in abundance where I come from.
Incredible. Sort of staring at it, turning it from side to side. I think this will do nicely.
All right then. So I guess I've got a couple larvae of poison something.
Yeah, they work as potions of poison resistance and as antidote.
Okay, and one larvae now of
It works as an oil of etherealness, but you eat it instead of rubbing it on your skin.
I'm out there just rubbing the
larva. Yeah.
It's gonna take forever.
Well, if you do return from the bog, it would be the first time, but it would be nice to see you on your way back. Doubtless there would be celebration.
We'll be sure to stop in if we can.
To the dame, then.
Indeed, to the dame.
This way, please. He's just like using his sword as a pointer to direct you just about anywhere you've gone. As you continue traversing through this village, it's gotten a little bit more busy, a little bit more hopping, if you will. As you get towards the center of town, there's a very large tree growing up over everything else, and you can see there's no door, but there is an entrance that seems to have almost been grown in to the side of this tree as some of the bark sort of wraps around onto the inside. And this massive thing, easily 100 feet across, and says, "The dame resides within. Please be respectful as best you are able, and, well, that's, I guess, it."
All right.
And he gestures for you to walk in ahead of him, but follows very closely behind. "Dame Mrekeekee, presenting visitors from the other side of the mountain for an audience with you." Yes?
Cam is just kind of she's never met somebody who seems to be like lord or lady over something, so she's like very much presenting herself as like humble at any given moment, like ready to do a curtsy or anything while she's looking for this dame that he's calling out to.
And it's not hard to spot her. There is, for lack of any sort of better adjective, a very voluptuous frog.
This frog is thick.
This frog's got titties.
Yeah.
Kitty frogs. There's another quote.
I hope Dreamy's here because this was her idea. Sort of recumbent on this splendid lily pad throne with a large collar and an outfit, which seemed to be made of like lily petals, but very large ones, and a golden lotus flower balanced on top of her head somewhat precariously. Visitors from the other side of the mountain. Welcome to Blackwater. You stand before Mrekeekee, Dame of Blackwater.
Yes, good morning, Dame of Blackwater. Not even going to attempt that pronunciation. I am Lyra Somaliath, the Bay of Zemali, and this is Camriel and Wade, and we are visitors to your wonderful town of Blackwater.
We are known as the Heralds of the Storm.
Well, Storm Heralds, I bid you welcome to our village. It is not often we greet outsiders. What brings you here?
Well, that's sort of a long story, but the shortest answer is that we are looking for Cam's mother.
We were told that she went west, which was pretty much where she would have had to go to do so.
She is a dry skin like yourself.
Yes. I mean, actually, her skin was always pretty hydrated, but...
And while she would fit in well in our village, I am afraid that there are none like you here.
Yeah, we gathered that. Are there others? Well, I suppose we're looking for that other village that might be in the swamp. We kind of stumbled upon you guys by accident, to be honest.
Yes, we are only ever found by accident. The protection granted to us by Lord Oberon makes sure of this.
This is the second mention of Lord Oberon we've had since we've been here. Is it third?
Mm-hmm.
What is this Lord Oberon? Is he one of your kind?
There's just like some startled like croaking in the audience. It's like some of the guards, they haven't heard of it. Basically, the vibe you're getting is they don't know who Oberon is.
I'm sorry, we're from very far on the other side of the mountains.
And she'll sort of gesture to calm the... Lord Oberon is the High King of the Seelie Court. We
Oh.
work for him on his direction.
Then I sincerely apologize. I did not know that we were dealing with the Court of Fae.
It is very well. Now you are aware.
Unfortunately, I only have familiarity with the material plane and the plane of eternal water.
Truly a most blessed plane.
Indeed. It gives life, as you well know.
Nods and goes to catch the flower. Is it direction you seek to the dry skin encampment?
Well,
I-
yes, but also, we've heard of your troubles with this Merig. Merig? Am I saying that?
Merig?
Merig?
Yes! The creature claiming to be Merig.
Oh, so it isn't actually Merig.
Well, I guess really what's in a name? If everybody knows it is Merig, then it is. But it wishes for those to believe that it was the creature that used to live here.
I see. So we're dealing with something impersonating a Fey creature that used to be here?
Yes, it is great offense.
Ah. Well then, we hope to go and parlay with this creature and perhaps remove its inconvenience for you.
At this point, her eyes sort of, which are just the solid black frog pupils, sort of roll back up into revealing like almost a golden glowing sort of energy behind them. Says, and if you did that, then I would certainly have a boon to bestow upon you.
What kind of boon would we be talking about here?
Well, we can work the details of that out now or later if you want. You'll have to come back successful first, but you'd be taking one thing that's been a thorn in my side for centuries off of the map.
Well, kind of leaning into the others, there's like a boon from potentially an archfey might.
And you notice when this sort of display of energy and change in voice happened, there's a lot of the other Bullywug in the area have sort of adopted a pose of reverence.
Yeah, I gathered what's happening.
Aren't,
Is there more to this story?
There's all.
I mean, we're being told that there's a creature claiming to be Merig. How long has the original Merig been there, and when did this supposed creature claim to be Merig took over?
Oh, this new thing. Well, I guess it's new to me. It'd be old to you. Several hundred years. Drove off the original hag that inhabited these swamps and took up her mantle.
Sorry, I was reading chat. How many years ago?
He said several hundred.
Okay, all right.
That would probably align with the whole 6 generations,
Yes, yes.
which is the reason that Lord Oberon has sent the people here in the first place.
yours is blurry.
Oh. Sorry, I keep casting blur by accident.
That was over.
So this new creature is more powerful than the original Merig?
Quite well, in a different way that manages to repel most of my attempts to intervene directly. It's quite annoying.
Is there any?
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask if there's anything you can tell us that might aid us in removing this creature. Anything about its true nature, perhaps?
It will consume your mind if you let it. It
Is
will
there-
make you forget who you are and where you are from and everything about yourself. And you
don't like
won't
that.
even care.
Oh, I don't like that.
Is there anything we can do to protect against that?
You need to have a very strong sense of self and people around you who know you. That's really the only thing we found so far.
Well, I do have that. How confident are you two feeling about that?
I am.
Well, we've managed to do a bunch of things I never thought that we would be able to do, so I'm always pretty confident, probably more than I should be if I'm being honest.
That's the kind of attitude we need around here. Anyway, think about it. If you come back, I got some goods for you. Oh,
Are you okay?
I wish he'd give me notice.
He
Hmm?
didn't ask for consent.
We have a deal. He's allowed to do that. I just wish I'd get a couple seconds ahead of time.
Oh, good.
Well, whatever he told you, I'm sure it was interesting.
He's offering to reward us for dealing with Merig.
And well rewarded you should be.
Well, I guess we've got work to do then.
Very good. May you find your way through the swamp without difficulty. And find your way back, which may be more difficult now that you know where our village is.
Good point. Well, we've asked several others already, but is there any information you can offer us to better find Merig's location? We were thinking of traveling by air.
That would be very efficient and easy. But finding Merig's lair has never been the hard part. It's been wanting to leave.
Well, I assume once Merig's dead, that should be easier.
One would hope.
I'm a little. He looks at the others like I'm actually a little nervous about this one. I've had my head fucked with a number of times on this journey, and I'm not liking it.
I was thinking maybe I could cast Ascending to Elvatende, and if something happens, she's a seer. She might be able to pull us out of there if something goes
That's a good
wrong.
point. She can summon us through the badges that we have. So, worst case scenario, if we succumb to it, she can pull us back.
Oh, hopefully.
And we have a seer as well. If you
Yes,
need the
it was-
services of one.
Bogus, the damn was that it?
Yes, Smogus, you are known to them.
We don't know about Oberon,
Service
but
is
we
over
know
here
about
like,
him.
yes, I am well known.
There he is.
Um,
And you see this sort of squat, sort of rotund frog man with a pointy hat and a stick with a hornet's nest living on the top end of it.
as much as we value Strogus and his great powers, our seer is the watcher in the storm, and well, she has the power to pull us from anywhere in the world, and that's why we require her services as sort of a backup plan.
Unless
Very
your
useful.
seer can do that too. Felix kind of.
Bogus, can you do that? I have not tried, my lady.
Well, I'm standing right here. If you would like to try to summon me to you, I'd let that happen.
Very well. And he takes the staff and taps it on the floor, and about a dozen hornets fly out of it towards you and around your back, and are like coming towards Cam on a line directly towards Spogus. What do you do?
Cap just stands there and waits to see what happens.
Yeah, so all these hornets come and land on the back of your head and start trying to sting you through your hair, but are not.
I thought that was part of your magic. Are these just actual hornets?
Yes,
She's
they
going
are just.
She's going to cast Wind Wall with her armor, in a direction that won't like hurt anybody else, but she gets rid of the.
It seems to have been ineffectual, my lady. He was trying to get some hornets to chase you closer to him.
Yeah, Dame Mrekeekee,
Yes.
I would ask that you would make sure your attendants do not attack my companions with hornets in the future.
She had agreed to it, but otherwise.
Don't think that's what she agreed to, but going to let this one slide.
In the future, before agreeing to things, have a better understanding of what they may entail.
It's totally fine. It didn't do too much harm.
The highest they rolled on any of those d20s was a 6 on the die, so.
Well then, are you two ready to depart?
Are you bound for the center of the swamp or for the dry skin encampment?
I think we'll deal with the creature first.
Very well.
It may make the journey easier, right? For the rest, the Tri-Skin Village and all that.
It is closer.
And then we don't have to travel through a magically enchanted swamp to...
Maybe. Is this place just like that all the time? Was it like that before the creature?
What do you mean?
The swamp, has it been sort of weird and magical always?
It's been weird and magical since we got here.
But you got here to guard against Merig, right?
Yes.
So that doesn't really explain anything.
Not even the slightest.
I mean, to be fair, they wouldn't have anything to compare it against because they've only been here after Merig.
But just know, the deeper you get into the swamp, the more strange the effects become. As long as you're on the outskirts, things are relatively stable. I trust you've noticed some of your things going missing by now.
One thing, yes.
Well, you've not been here long yet.
Is that because of Merig, the
Oh,
creature?
yes, quite.
Okay. Well, hopefully it'll be dealt with soon. Should we make haste?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
And, well, I guess I want to know if you two think it's worth the expenditure. I do still have that scroll of fly to help me get there, and it'll cost you two significant magic, I believe, won't it?
Well, how long can you do that with the scroll?
Why is
The
it
spell
10 minutes?
lasts an hour? 10 minutes? Is that all it is?
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing.
I can only do that for like a handful of minutes a day.
They said it would be easy to get there by flying.
I think one round of flying, because unfortunately I can only concentrate on that spell. So unless Cam could carry somebody,
Perhaps.
even more.
If you prefer, we can take the land route and see how it goes. We can always fly as a backup.
Say we fly when we need to. If we don't see the need for it, no.
Sounds good. Can somebody take us as close as you're willing to?
Yes, you shall have an escort. Zoblin!
Fuck. This weirdo.
Damn, you sure you don't want to do it?
See them to the far edge of town. Yes. Dame Mrekeekee. I shall see it done.
All right, Sorblin, lead the way.
Onwards! And he will guide you through to the western edge of this Bullywug village, which is just a very, as I'm sure you have gathered by now, just quite the strange parody of a town. You see some older Bullywugs hobbling around wearing just a towel around their waist before slipping into a what appears to be like a warm, like a hot spring area, and start talking about some. Well, I heard there was some visitors in from out of town. This is out of town. There's no out of town. I was like, who's that right there? I don't see anybody. That sort of dialogue.
Cam is just like, are you sure that you're not related? Because they seem to want to dress like you.
You're dressed nothing like me. What are you talking
They
about?
were in towels just now.
Oh,
Well, everyone wears a towel when they bathe, right?
But you weren't bathing one of the times.
Well, that's because I was in bed and you woke me. And it was a sheet, not a towel.
Okay. I still think there's some sort of resemblance. She follows our one.
Right. And yeah, there is a small gaggle of villagers sort of following at a distance, watching the new arrivals and croaking and whatever, sort of native language that they have that's unintelligible to you. But it's got the murmur of gossip or something interesting happening in a small town for maybe the first time in a while. But it only takes you about 15 minutes to get to just outside the far eastern edge of this little encampment here, and Zorblin says, I wish you a safe journey through the mire, and may you resist Merig's influence.
Hope to.
We hope to help all of you. So maybe you guys can leave here one day if Merig isn't around. You know, if you want to.
Something to consider.
And then maybe you will all know all of the things like what these are. And she like holds out the gold coins that they seemed really unfamiliar with.
I shall stand guard until your return.
You know, I don't think that's necessary
Actually,
this time
Maybe
around.
we should let him, because they said that we can only find their place by accident, and he can find it intentionally, and so that might be our only way back to get our boon.
That's fair.
We are dealing with Fae after all. We have to be careful.
Well, we'll see ya when we see ya then.
You are allowed to eat and sleep, you know.
That is very refreshing news. Just
I just can't.
He wasn't going to. All right.
And-
Thank you, Zorblin. And she's gonna follow off towards the what she thinks is like the center of the swamp.
all right. Yeah. So what we're gonna do then is we're gonna turn this into a skill challenge to navigate to the center of this
Okay.
swamp. And I would just like the three of you to each tell me which one of your skills you're using, how you're using it, contributing to this endeavor here, knowing what you know so far. Oh, and I will ask, are you going to consume the potions prior to entering, or until you wait till you get poisoned?
I already consumed one, so...
Yeah, you already did. This is true.
Yeah, I think when we set off, and we'll eat first.
Yeah, and it is again entirely up to Cam whether or not she's able to keep that down texturally, but it does grant its poison resistance effect.
After seeing Cam eat it, Wade will take a moment to look at Cam and what sort of reaction does Cam make after eating?
It's kind of like that scene in The Lion King when Simba's eating grub for the first time. She like her face goes, but she does swallow it. And she's just like,
Say slimy but satisfying.
slimy,
Think-
it's satisfying.
I think Wade will dissect the larva and eat it in small bites so as not to be like overwhelmed by the
Yeah.
texture and the flavor.
Yeah, that does save you from sort of the gushers effect. Yeah, you now really don't need to worry too much about most poisons.
Cam is gonna take out her rope and make sure that we're all holding it to some degree. And I think she goes, well, actually, I don't want to overstep. Shanks, are you planning on using survival for your skill check or something else?
It depends. I would like to ask the DM if... sorry, the role is to indicate how we're navigating?
How you are contributing to this difficulty that is in front of you, because you are stood at just beyond the outskirts of the Bullywug village, and there is a wall of gnarled branches and big hanging leaves and twisted vines with no obvious path through it.
I see. then I think perhaps acrobatics.
Okay.
Kind of gymnastics my way through.
Very nice. Yeah, make me that acrobatics check.
And I remember that I had... Oh, I won't need it, actually. It's going to be a 23.
All right, that is a success. Yeah, Lyris leads you off very nimbly, dexterously. While it doesn't appear that there is a clear path through this, Lyris is able to find the easiest branches to push aside. Says, this is just covered up with leaves. There's no vines and no tangled branches behind here, and is able to start navigating you all through this dense thicket.
Cam would like to use an athletics check to kind of help push aside anything that is getting in their way, or she will, if Wade is struggling, she'll like make sure that she's like tugging on the rope to kind of help him through the rough terrain, just generally muscling her way through behind Lyris.
Okay. You're trying to like clear a path for for Wade?
Yeah, where I can. Like if I imagine we're gonna be at this for a while, so if Lyris needs a break being at the front, she'll also take the lead.
Make that athletics check for me.
I'm going to use my inspiration because
Right.
I rolled a 2.
Oof.
Oof, indeed.
It's much better. That is a 21.
21 will do it. You are able to follow quite a bit broader, I believe, than Lyris. Just you're able to muscle through some of these branches and tangled leaves, snapping some where necessary to make room for Wade, who may not be quite as adept at just brute forcing his way through a wall of greenery. And you are all able to keep progressing deeper into this bog. You'll notice the ground is getting swampier, and like you're having to work to pull your feet up a little bit out of the mud as you progress forwards. But you can tell that it is somehow the growth is still getting even thicker than it was, and you're on the right track. At this point, there is no sign of the sky. It's not pitch black down here. There is some broad, diffuse illumination, but any sort of direction you look in from where you are right now looks indistinguishable from each other. And, I don't know if there's a lot of times that Lyris or Cam especially have felt like they're lost, but you kind of get that feeling, even if you know that you're heading in the right direction.
Yes, I don't think she likes that.
Wade will... I've been sort of bouncing back between different things. Wade's going to use insight to try and focus on that feeling of being watched and try and determine, like, can he, notice the minute difference of, it feels like, are we getting warmer? Are we getting colder?
Okay.
Sort of.
I like it. Make an insight check.
Not high, it's a 12.
A 12. Yeah, unfortunately, a 12 is not quite enough to get it done.
Inspiration.
Oh, I have inspiration. And use that, so 25. Does that count?
25. That will get it done. Yeah, you spend, thanks to this rope, you're able to not necessarily focus on the mechanics or immediately avoiding what's in front of you. Cam's got that down. You are instead able to sort of focus and use yourself like a rudder to turn the group in the right direction, as you can feel very subtle variations in this sense of being observed as you snake your way through this thicket. Also on a 25, I will also give you some of these flowers that you were told about with the toxic pollen. You at one point have to, there's no other way forwards than through a cluster of them. And even with this potion, this larva of poison resistance, the smell that they release is sickly sweet, but still like burns a little bit inside your nostrils. And something you put together, Wade, with that 25 on insight, whenever Lyris or Cam, leading up the charge, snap one of the branches such that it breaks, any sort of flowers in the area just release a small puff of this pollen sort of in response, even some plants some distance away. It's like there's almost like there's an intelligence to the plants that you're walking through.
Did you notice that? He says as one of the branches snaps underneath his foot.
Did I notice?
Perception or insight?
That is... I could use insight?
Yeah.
That's 19.
So yeah, with a 19, I think, with a 19 and Wade pointing it out, yeah. You notice not only are they releasing this puff of pollen that you've been told is toxic, but very quickly, as the branch snaps, some of the, like all the flowers subtly reposition themselves to be pointing slightly more in your direction before.
Are they kind of like creatures or just...
Seems to be some sort of intelligence here. Like with Broxel. But it was all connected.
I think Cam... Are there any of these like clusters that are like close to them?
Yeah, absolutely.
She like holds the little small acorn charm that her father gave her, and she looks at the plant and she's like, hi, I'm Cam. I don't know if you can understand me. You don't look like you have a mouth to communicate, but we're just trying to get through here. If you could like make that easier, we could stop breaking you.
Yeah. Make me a persuasion check while I pick something. 1 second.
They have advantage on that. That's a 17.
All right. So with a 17 on a persuasion and 19 on an insight, as I think sounded like Kian was expecting, the plants do not speak back to her. What you get back, I think, then is the experience that you're having talking to this thicket is akin to the experience of talking to someone who is asleep and just starting to wake up. And you also get the sense that you are not talking to plants. You are talking to one entity, and it is everything that you see around you. And it is currently asleep.
Oh. I think we should just try to be more gentle as we go through here, she says to Lyris.
Yes, I'll do my best to avoid stepping on anything else.
Right. And then knowledge gained. That's 3 successes against 0 failures, which is very good. We're going for 5 successes before 3 failures for this. So we have 2 more things that you can attempt here. Or we need 2 more successes here.
I would like to try to stealth to avoid drawing the attention of the plants or waking up, or the plant, I guess, or avoid waking it up, whatever it is.
All right, make me that stealth check.
All right, let's use the cup. That's pretty good. That's a 26.
Nice. Yeah. So taking a more deliberate path through this necessitates more winding and moving more slowly to try to, cause as little impact on the plant life as possible as you travel through here. And you do continue moving forwards, but at an indirect path. And I think even in the perpetual twilight that exists under this heavy tree cover, you can sense that the day, you're getting tired through all this physical exertion, walking through this difficult terrain. It is starting to get on in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cam is going to try to do similarly, not caring about the direct route anymore, and do a survival to kind of continue on helping Lyris find a path that's gonna not wake up this forest that we're walking through.
All right, go for it.
And I think just to give herself a sense of feeling oriented, she's going to also cast like a soft sort of almost sunlight colored light on her weapon in her hand. Even though she has dark vision, she's just feeling the effects of being in like this darkness for so long. That's not as good, but I have a +8, 15.
15 just gets it done. Yeah, so with a bit of a guiding light out in front of you, Cam, you all very carefully navigate your way through this dense foliage of mountain laurel before almost suddenly, it's getting thicker and thicker, and it's getting darker and darker down here, and then almost suddenly it opens up. And there is, you walk into a small clearing, maybe 30 feet across, in the middle of this swamp. You found a small patch of dry land sitting here in almost a perfect circle.
That's odd, right?
Yes, very much so.
What do we do with that?
And say this, having been several more hours of walking, it is getting to the time where you would start wanting to either make camp for the night before you lose what semblance of light exists down here, or if you want to press on, that is certainly your prerogative.
Should we count this as a blessing?
I'm skeptical, but it may be our best option.
Okay, she'll sit down. I guess I'll start casting my dome now. We should definitely have watches for sure.
Yes, without a doubt.
I don't think any of us should wander around during our watch either.
probably best to stay in the dome.
Well, that to your rope this time.
I'll do my best.
Oh, I would really like to not lose some of my stuff.
Yes, depending on what's lost, it could be rather devastating.
Okay, well, she'll get to work casting her dome, and I think Cam will also offer to watch first if everyone else is okay with it.
It's fine.
All right. Make me a perception check, please.
That's pretty good. What do I have to that? 24.
24. Yeah. So it is very oppressive in here. It has become cold and humid, and, you know, with your extended dark vision, it doesn't really matter because the trees are growing so thick, really, that you can't see too far past the edges of this clearing. You know, the air's hanging thick on you like a heavy blanket. And the swamp surrounding is alive with sounds, but not really the kind that reassure you. Just slow, slithering hiss as something moves around the edge of the camp. The leaves on these trees kind of grow in groups of 5 and sort of swing around like strange hands moving in the winds. And as it gets colder through the night, the fog creeps in over the ground, edging into the perimeter of this clearing, but never quite filling it up. Apart from all that unsettling stuff, there's nothing that you encounter that immediately causes panic, or there's no immediate threat that you perceive while you're camping out here this night. But man, is it hard not to be on high alert with all these strange sounds.
Yeah, she's just been watching and like very ready to wake everyone up at any given moment. But when her watch is over, she goes over to Lyris and just kind of like jostles him awake.
Oh, anything I should know?
Everything here is weird and alive and a little bit scary, like it wants to attack us, but it's not.
It's business as usual.
I heard hissing, and it's like the trees are swatting at us almost.
All right, well, get some rest.
Okay. I'll get into her bedroom.
All right. Need a perception check on your watch, Lyris.
Let's use that advantage.
Is that one of your advantages?
That's one of my advantages gone. And with that makes it a 24.
24, yeah. Somewhere off in the distance, you hear louder, a sudden, exceptionally loud croak of a frog, somehow managing to echo through this dense foliage. Catches you a little odd. You know, even though you are used to being out in nature, being on guard, something about this place is otherworldly, which I don't think is necessarily a surprise to Lyris, given their recent encounter with an entire Fey village. But even knowing that, your heart kind of races with every rustle in the underbrush. You know, it's probably an animal, but every instinct in your body is telling you that it's not, despite no visual evidence to that case.
Fair enough.
But to, like Cam, other than a very unsettling night, nothing immediately threatening happens.
All right, well, gently shake Wade awake.
Is it time?
It's time. Nothing really of note other than this place is dangerous as hell, so be on your toes.
Oh, okay. Stare off into the void.
Give me that perception check.
That's a nat 20 for 26.
Very nice. Just going to make this maybe a little bit underwhelming. Lyris, Wade, you two, as you're having this low, brief conversation, just passing off the duty of watching something you both catch at the exact same time. All sound in this swamp stops. Except for the occasional brush of wind, just like a switch, all animal sounds have stopped. And the silence kind of feels worse than the sounds.
Something's here.
Sound of silence continues to play in the background.
And you both feel, since you're still, if Lyris, I assume, are you remaining awake now, or are you going to attempt to get
No, I'm gonna notice that phenomenon and immediately fall asleep. And all right, let me know if it gets worse.
Didn't want to assume, but the two of you can feel pressure on your chest just a little bit, like a gaze staring into you. But Wade, you've never been more sure that there is nothing out there.
Is this pressure still like say if a minute passes, do you still feel it?
Mm-hmm. It's less obtrusive, so you sort of acclimate to it, but if you cast your attention back to it, it's still there.
I'm gonna virtually cast Identify, see if I can catch anything with that.
Alright, let's see. There it is. One object that you must touch. So what are you putting your hand on to try and get something from this? Yourself?
Yes.
Interesting.
Can't wake up, I'm scared. Wade's touching himself.
Put that on the quote list. Yeah, so that's an interesting question. You cast Identify targeting yourself, and there are no magical effects that you aren't expecting.
If it's not magical, then it might be supernatural.
Gonna just take a shot here. I seek an audience with Merig.
You just say that out into
loud.
the swamp?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. You do that.
Okay.
Nothing immediately seems to happen. But
Be back in 3 business days.
You have not gotten enough sleep yet to have the benefits of a long rest, Lyris. There is nothing immediately bearing down on camp. How late do you stay up in the silence?
I guess if nothing happens over the next couple of minutes, do you feel comfortable watching on your own at this point? Because I don't really and truly need to sleep the whole night if you need me to stay up.
I feel like if something's going to happen with it being this silent, it'll be pretty easy to notice.
Okay. I'm just gonna make sure that we're all tied together with that rope still, and then go to sleep.
I like Vix's idea. But yeah, and you are able to drift off. It is probably one of the most unsettling sleeps that you've had in recent memory. But if I could have everyone make an intelligence saving throw for me, please.
Fun.
I've been getting lucky with these. I don't want to.
15.
So I'm gonna use that other inspiration because that's not one.
I don't have one to use this time, and that's a 3.
All right.
15.
Cam, what's missing when you wake up?
Oh boy, it's gonna be bad. I think her new trident that she's been carrying around.
Cam,
Yeah.
look at you.
If it's a similar thing where it's like it's the first thing she tries to reach for when she gets up, it's her weapon.
All right. It doesn't have to be that. It is just something that you notice is missing, but I like that. If you are willing to double down on that.
Yeah, I will.
All right. Take some inspiration for giving up your magic weapon. Yeah. I think I don't want to step on Cam's autonomy here, but I believe it would probably be safe to guess that the other two are, well, Wade's up, but Lyris, Cam searching for her trident in the morning, it may be what wakes you up after your prolonged watch.
Even with that, there's no way Cam's up before Lyris. There's no way that's happening.
Fair enough. I don't want to step on Lyris's toes. Very well.
Yeah, that
Cam,
is.
when you wake up, you notice your trident is gone.
Yeah.
I didn't notice anything during my watch at all.
Nope. None of you did.
And what?
She's like, oh no, and he just took care of it for me. She's like crawling around on the ground.
Are you okay?
My new trident is gone.
Oh, fuck. I'm
Should
sure it's
start looking
nearby.
for it.
Let's try to find it. Although you should know, everything went silent last night. Is it still silent around us?
So that's the curious thing. You wake up and you notice, Wade, you're not sure when this happened, but there are the sounds not of a deadly, dangerous swamp. There are birds chirping and frogs and a warm breeze blowing through the area as you realize that the clearing you went to sleep in last night, you are now on the outskirts of a much, much, much larger clearing with a quaint little cottage built in its center, little garden and a picket fence around it. It all looks very pastoral.
Oh, thank goodness. Kim says upon seeing that.
This may be an illusion, or it may be where Merig resides. I really don't know.
Oh, but isn't that where we were going anyway?
Yes, just I'm saying don't let your guard down because it looks pleasant.
Oh, okay, I got it.
But let's also find that trident, and I'm going to start searching for it.
Yeah,
Hey.
make some perception or investigation checks for me.
I'll do perception.
She, in the meantime, takes out her war hammer, just in case it is just gone.
Okay, I just want to point out, this is the weirdest thing. I've rolled like 7 15s tonight.
Wow.
It's because you're
Yeah.
not in combat and your life is not dependent on it at the moment.
Everything that wasn't a 15 was really low, but I've had 15 on the die so many times tonight. But for perception, that makes it a 24.
I rolled an 11, but my passive investigation is 18.
Yeah, and I'll say eventually. Wait, who got the highest one?
I have
Lyris.
24.
That's what I thought. Okay, yeah, Lyris. Eventually, you are looking around, searching around the dome area in where the dome was, not finding it, but you're getting to the point where you're like feeling like it's just gone, and then you look up, and it's halfway. It's sort of embedded in a tree, as though somebody javelined it up there, about 30 feet up, short distance from where it was.
Okay, well, I found it. I'm gonna try to climb the tree, I guess.
Yeah, I'll say, with the three of you working together on this, it's not that difficult to get up there. It is pretty well wedged into the side of this tree. But after a little bit of working, you're able to dislodge it. And you are able to successfully retrieve your trident.
What happens when you unattune to an item? Like how does that work? Like, is it? It's
It doesn't
24
you didn't
hours,
necessarily- Yeah.
Are you unattuned to it?
No, you're still attuned to it.
Yeah. But if you spend a certain amount of time away from your weapon, then you or your magic item, you unattune. But I'm fine. So Lyris goes up and gets it for her.
Yeah.
Thank you. I suppose it's good that they're not going too far from us when we lose them.
Yes. Just try to hold on to it for now, and hopefully soon that won't be an issue.
Yeah. Are we gonna just walk up to there?
I think so. I don't see what our other options are at the moment.
Did we want to yell at it in case it's a ghost house again?
I don't think yelling is going to teach us anything regardless.
Well, if it answers back, then it might give it away.
I really don't think that house would have answered us if we yelled at it.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna start walking towards the little hut.
All right. And if you would believe it or not, it's been 3 hours already.
Yeah.
I
Shit.
think that's probably a good place to leave it for this week.
Grandmother's house we go.
Approaching the quaint little cottage in this inexplicable clearing in the middle of the swamp.